All right, let's take you now to this court case. Closing arguments in the bail application of 5 suspects accused of the murder of Kiernan AKA Forbes, are continuing rather in the Durban High Court, representing accused 1 Lindokuhle Mkhwanazi. Advocate Simphiwe Mlotshwa says his client complied fully with law enforcement authorities when they arrested him. However, Magistrate Vincent Hlatshwayo has raised concerns around the Mkhwanazi's address and alleged medical condition. AKA was killed along with his business associate Tebello Motosoane outside a Durban restaurant in February last year. Now, legal analyst Elton Hart joins us via video link to weigh in on these developments. Thank you so much for your time this afternoon. This, of course, has been, a lengthy bail process. Today, we heard closing arguments by the defense. Magistrate Vincent Hlatshwayo raising concerns there around Mkhwanazi's address and alleged medical condition. Just talk to us, Elton, about, what stood out for you during the closing arguments?
You could see that most of the defense teams were looking at the delay by the state in actually finalizing the bail application. That's more or less where most of them centered their arguments around, to say that the state took so long to actually finalize the bail application because some of the accused has been in custody since last year, roughly October. Some were arrested in February this year. So they were saying that bail should not be used as a punitive measure, but it should just be a measure that ensures that accused will stand trial. And they even quoted case law to the effect that says that a delay in the bail prosecution, in finalizing the bail, can also be seen as an exceptional circumstance that should weigh in the favor of the accused persons.
And I mean, just in terms of the arguments themselves from the legal representatives, the defense rather, was it strong enough, do you think, to grant bail by the magistrate? I mean, what are the possibilities here?
You could see that the magistrate was a little bit concerned about certain things, specifically when some of the defense teams raised the issue or canvassed the issue to say that this accused was cooperating with law enforcement agencies. And we know from the investigation that I think it was General Mkhwanazi, he said he had to first find alternative cases where he could arrest these guys and then actually make sure that he can now charge them eventually with us. So the magistrate was not fighting, but questioning the defense teams on saying, did they really cooperate, or was it the arrest that actually brought them here, that they actually stand trial? And they sort of gave some explanations, but I don't think it's good enough. And as it stands now, it seems like the magistrate is leaning towards not granting bail, because they also canvassed the issue of flight risk, and they tried to say, but their client is not flight risks, while the magistrate said, but the one was arrested in Joburg in Maponya Mall, while the case is down in Durban. So they have the opportunity, but they also sort of counter-argue and said they handed in passports. So that is, but for me, it seems like the magistrate is leaning towards not granting bail.
And just on that point, I mean, the legal representatives for the one accused, the one that was alleged a mastermind in this crime, was yet to present his arguments before I spoke to you. But when you consider whether or not bail will be granted, I mean, how much of the fact that some of these accused are linked to some violent crimes?
No, that obviously, and they have to disclose it in the affidavit to say that they've got pending matters. And one of your bail conditions is normally to say that you would not be involved in other matters. Now, obviously, if they had a pending matter prior to this one, you cannot really say that they have violated previous bail conditions, because they were never brought before a court to say that you cannot commit another crime. So it should not weigh heavy in, but the court will look at the propensity of a person to actually be involved in crime and the nature of the crimes that he or she is involved in. So they would look at it in outstanding cases. I know that there was 2 of the accused that didn't have any pending cases, and they were just arrested straightforward on the evidence that was there. But also the problem lies in that the state says they have not concluded, as the investigation is at an advanced stage, which means it's not done, it's not complete yet, which means there's still additional evidence that they need to gather or acquire, And we know with the Bushiri case, with the Gupta case, extradition of people from a different country, although it be next door, it can be a lengthy process. So these people need to be all 7 in the dock when the trial runs. So it might mean that the trial will not run even late this year, maybe not even the beginning of next year. We might only see the trial starting to run in 2026.
And I was going to ask you, as the final, point in terms of how are these proceedings then likely to impact on one another, considering, as you say, that there is that extradition, case in Eswatini that we are yet to see. I mean, how does this also impede on these particular accused that are standing in, in this bail application process that you also say has taken a lengthy time, and it looks like it could be, falling on the steps of, the state in this case in terms of their delay?
No, indeed so. And the defense did raise that issue to say that it's the state that's delaying the whole process in finalizing this. The extradition, we cannot guarantee. It can be a month from now, then it can be done. It can be 2 months, it can be 6 months. We don't know how long it will take, because there are certain conditions that need to be met for these guys to be extradited. And then once they are here, they are also entitled to a bail application. So they might also opt to bring bail applications, and they can bring bail applications, and the trial will not start until they've brought their bail application. So that can have a delaying effect on the actual commencement of the trial. Given the fact also that the investigating team under Pillay has said that they are not done. The investigation is the advanced stage, but it's not done yet. So there's still evidence that they need. And this can also have, because after the investigation is done, they need to give the defense teams the contents of the docket so that they can prepare for the trial. So that can all play in when the trial commences.